Since the time of independence, the place Jammu and Kashmir is never out of trend, and this place is always into the discussion in the UN, in the mainstream media, and also throughout the all over the country. So today's lecture is also based on Jammu and Kashmir, and it has been said that in the independence time there has been significant injustice happened with the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu, and today we are going to discuss two bills which has been passed in Lok Sabha regarding Jammu and Kashmir. So moving to the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss the news. We briefly had discussed the news, and then Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill 2023, and then J&K Reorganization Amendment Bill 2023, practice question for prelims and mains. So moving towards the news part. So this bill has been introduced in July in the parliament, and it has been passed in December from the Lok Sabha. So what was the bill about? We will discuss in further lectures, but here we will discuss that what had happened in Jammu and Kashmir. So what is the purpose of this bill introduction, that why such kind of bill has been introduced in our parliament and why Lok Sabha has passed it? So our Union Home Minister Amit Shah says that this bill is dedicated to all the people who are marginalized and whose voices are unheard. So in order to provide justice to them, this bill has been introduced, and all these bill will provide justice to the marginalized communities of the Jammu and Kashmir, and they are talking about the Kashmiri Pandits, the Pahadia community. So in that way, in their eyes, they are the marginalized section of Jammu and Kashmir. So this bill is about all those people who are marginalized in the eyes of the government. So moving to the next slide is about Jammu Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill. So earlier we had this Jammu Kashmir Reservation Act 2004, and 2023 is the amendment of this 2004 Act. So when it comes to your examination that its previous nature was Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Act 2004, then you must remember this fact that this is an amendment to 2004 Act. And what had happened, that what are the significant changes we have brought? So earlier the seat was 107, but right now the seat has been increased to 114, and among them 9 were scheduled or reserved for the scheduled tribes of the Jammu and Kashmir, who are mostly the Gujjar, Bakarwals and Pahadia community of the Jammu and Kashmir. So these are the provisions we have in this bill, and this also aims to amend the section 2 of the 2004 Act. And what the section 2 says that, so in section 2 there is a term for all these community which is weak and underprivileged classes. So right now this term will be changed and it will be called as the other backward classes, which has been used in the central government so many proliferation, and also in the state government for the socially educationally marginalized communities. So they will now used as a other backward class instead of weak and underprivileged classes, because no community can be weak. They can be socially, educationally or politically marginalized, but they can't be weak. So that's why this nomenclature has been changed. So moving to the other slide is about Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill 2023. So earlier it has been also designed and it is also amendment. And what this bill says that, so there will be the 3 person will be nominated by the governor. Usually it happens that 2 persons nominated in the November in the any state legislative assembly, but in the case of Jammu and Kashmir, which is an union territory right now, so the 3 person will be nominated by the governor, and 1 would belong to 2 would be the women, and 1 would be the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So here there is a different kind of provision we have, that they had not just focused on the Jammu and Kashmir, they had also focused on the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, because in the opinion of Amit Shah, our Home Minister, he says that Pakistan occupied Kashmir is a part of India, and they had included this territory in the map also. So we cannot exclude them, and in our legislative assembly or in anything we have to concern for their right, and we have to reserve for their right. So there is a special provision given to the Pakistan occupied Kashmiri people, and there is also a special emphasis given to the Kashmiri Pandits who has been dislocated in the exodus during the 1989. So in that way, but all these bills has created lots of controversy in the parliament, and so many opposition leader had opposed this kind of thing, and they said that Kashmiri Pandits, because they belong to a socially uplift class, so they cannot be marginalized. But in the eyes of central government, or in the eyes of current ruling political party, it has been said that they have been migrated, and there was a forceful migration, and their homes has been snatched, and since then they cannot return to the valley. So that's why all these criteria made them that they are marginalized communities of Jammu and Kashmir, and most of the population belongs to the Muslim, and in the Muslim state, Kashmiri Pandit can be marginalized because there was a forceful exodus by the majority community. So in that way, this has created lots of controversy, and this topic is always discussed in mainstream media when we have this movie called Kashmir Files, and there is a story related to the Kashmiri Pandits and also the exodus which had happened in 1989. So these kind of things always happen, but our main focus is that what this bill about and how it can uplift the marginalized section of the Jammu and Kashmir, or does it make any impact or not. We should not focus on the controversy, that how much it will create controversy, but there are certain challenges in it, because in our Indian constitution we always heard this term that the community who are backward, they should be socially and educationally backward and economically backward. But in the case of Pandits, especially the Kashmiri Pandits, we of course accept this fact that there was forceful migration, but when it comes to the Pandit or Brahmin as a community, they are not socially, educationally backward. So that has created another kind of controversy, but we should focus on that. What was the provisions in this bill, and how much government has authority to appoint. So how much the governor's rule is here, how much rules has become significant here, and there can be the question related to governors, the legislative assembly, and Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh also. And here there were so many controversy related to the Aksai Chin also, but our Union Home Minister has clarified it them that Aksai Chin are residing in the territories of Ladakh, but that are also the part of the Indian territory. So in that way they had clarified that POK and whatever the territories which has been occupied by the Aksai Chin are the part of the Indian territory, and when it comes to the reservation of these community, then they will always look for these community, and there should be the seats reserved for these community. So in that way, what is the highlight of all these bills? That there is a special emphasis given to the women, there is a special emphasis given to the Kashmiri Pandit, and there is a special emphasis given to the scheduled tribes of the Jammu and Kashmir, which is in need of an hour. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that what it seeks to insert. So we already had that it seeks to insert section 15A and section 15B. What it does, that it seeks with the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 for the Lieutenant Governor to nominate not more than 2 members. So here 3 members are appointed. So that's why it seeks to amend at section 15A and section 15B, because here not only 2 members, 3 members are appointed, and among them are Kashmiri migrants, 1 member from the displaced from the POK, and 1 women. So these are the provisions and section 15A and B about. Moving to the another slide, which is question: what is the primary objective of Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill? And here are your options: to increase the number of seats in the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly, to nominate 2 members from the Ladakh region to the Lok Sabha, to provide special status to Jammu and Kashmir, to designate seats for the Kashmiri migrant community and displaced person from POK in the Legislative Assembly. So kindly answer in the comment section. Moving to the mains part, because here you have to come to the analytical approach, and your mains question is: do you think Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill will empower scheduled tribes? So recently we had discussed that there was so much debate on women reservation bill, and there is one faction who was saying that this bill and this act will provide justice to the women and they will given equal shares in the parliament. On the other hand, so many section has also said that the bill has no segregation, just like we have OBC, SC, ST. It has segregation for SC and ST, but it has not segregation for the OBC community and minority community. So in that way, it will not provide justice to the women of all strata. So in the case of this thing also, we have seen that there is a special emphasis given to the Pahadia community, which are the scheduled tribes. So how does this bill provide justice and empowerment to them? So first of all, you have to give background of the bill, that it is an amendment, and you have to write about the bill a brief intro, that what it seeks, that it seeks to increase the seats from 107 to 114, and it had reserved 9 seats for the scheduled tribes community, which is very great in number. So when it comes to that, all these reservation and things will empower scheduled tribe community or not, then definitely it will empower scheduled tribes of Jammu and Kashmir, because they are marginalized and they are still off the map. And if you will ensure their representation in legislative assembly, then it will give another boost to them, and it will give confidence to the whole community. And there are different tribes which are residing in Jammu and Kashmir, and each tribe can have their own kind of reservation or representation in the state legislative assembly, so that they can tell their demands, they can tell their issues, and they can address their concern in the legislative assembly. So in that way, they can work for their development and they can work for their own people. So in that way, it will empower the scheduled tribe community of Jammu and Kashmir. So in a way, you can conclude this way, that we don't know about the impact of the bill, but when it comes to the scheduled tribes, then definitely it is going to empower them, because there was no separate provision that there is a separate seat reserved for them. And right now the government of India has come with this provision. It means that it will definitely impact those community, and they will have right to say about their problem in the state legislative assembly, in the Union Territory Assembly. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have any queries related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.